People don't leave bad companies, they leave bad managers. So, how are you at managing people? I've met business owners before who have taken the stance of, well, I've given these people a job, why can't they just get on and do it? Well, that's not good enough. Now, I know I'm probably characterising someone at one extreme, but the reality is we need to kind of be further up the other end of actually viewing ourselves as growers of people. How can we look at ourselves which says, in order for my business to survive and thrive, I need to be making sure that the people, I'm attracting the right kind of people, but when I've got them in, I'm motivating them and ultimately managing to retain them for the long term. So that's the job that we've got of management. But the things to look out for, which will give you an indication on how good a manager you are these things down here. So if in your team of people there's an awful lot of finger pointing, so oh, it was his fault or her fault or the supplier's fault, or there are excuses for things that have been done or not done, as the case may be, or people are actually in denial for certain situations. If those things are in existence in your team, then I'm sorry to say the chances are you aren't managing effectively enough. Now, you might take that as a bit harsh. Well, I'm not here to, frankly, to kind of suck up to you. I just need you to understand the brutal fact of the situation. Now, actually, two things will probably have happened. One is you've recruited badly, in which case we should go back and have a look at the recruitment process that led for the wrong person to be in your business. But it also means that there's a high chance that that person is not being managed effectively enough. Because what we really want, and is utterly possible with your team, is to get them so that they have these kind of characteristics, where they are taking ownership for their situation, where they are accountable for the results that they get, and ultimately take full responsibility for their actions. That's where we will need to get people to. But my question to you is this: how do we make that shift from here to here? It fundamentally comes down to looking at the core management skills that we need to put in place. Now, that might be for you, it might be for your management team as well. Again, I've been surprised at how many levels of management are in that position, maybe because they've been good at the position that was immediately kind of below them prior to getting the job, and they'd be promoted up into that position, but actually haven't had anything in the way of training on terms of how to be a good manager. So how on earth could these people succeed if they've had no direction or no training in how to get the most out of people? So one of the things that we do when working with clients is we do take them through our management skills program, give you a flavour of what that looks at. You need to have a high level of self-awareness if you're going to be a manager. So what's your behavioural style? What attitude and mindset do you take into the workplace? And fundamentally, what are the beliefs, the attitudes, the values that are shaping you as a person that then informs you as to the behaviours and actions that you take day to day? We'll kind of look at that. We'll also look at before you can manage anyone else, you need to manage yourself. So self-management's a big thing. How do we help prioritise? What are the things that we need to do to get the most out of our time management? And how do we structure our daily, weekly, monthly diaries? We need to also look at how effectively we can build relationships. So again, what's the behavioural style of the people with whom we're interacting most frequently? How do we learn best, and how do they learn best as well? What's the best way of coaching them to do the job that we need them to do, so that they can do it as quickly and productively as possible? And then, what do our listening skills look like? Again, a lot of people are spending time listening to someone, really waiting for the next opportunity to speak, but the art of management is in the listening. We'll work on that. And then there are 4 other kind of key areas about doing the right thing. So getting the principles and standards right so that people understand what's expected of them. So setting standards, putting systems and processes in place, and then defining what the KPIs or the key performance indicators should be for the team, for the individual, for the department. We also need to be focused on how we develop others, so giving people the clarity on what's expected of them and then measuring performance against that, coaching them to support them in their growth, and then also, how do we help managers effectively delegate tasks and responsibilities to the team so that their time's freed up to do some of the higher value stuff. We then have to kind of confront some brutal facts. We have to manage performance as a manager, and a lot of owners and managers that I've worked with aren't doing that. They're letting things slip, which is leading to some of these kind of characteristics being prevalent. So again, what's the consistency of communication that we need to put in place with the team? How do we confront underperformance? And also the opposite of that is, how do we make sure that we're catching people doing things right so that we can celebrate the success of the individual and the department or the team? And then finally, we'll look at planning. So how do we set some goals for the team, for the department? How do we put those goals, a plan behind those goals, and actually put some time frames behind each of the things? Who does what by when, to make sure that we're constantly hitting what we say we're going to hit? And then how do we kind of manage the implementation of that plan, not just for ourselves but for the team? So anyway, there's a whistle-stop tour of the things that we would get involved in with your management team when we go through the management skills program. So if you're interested in that, if these things are happening in your business and you want a bit more of that, then let's definitely talk about how we can help you and the team grow as managers so that you can really grow your people and grow your business. Hope that's been helpful. Get in touch if you want to catch up on anything in more detail. I'd be really excited to help you kind of get from where you are to wherever it is you want to be in business. All the best for now. Good luck.